Hi everybody, I'm Ingi from Tarot Wikipedia. Thank you for watching. I'm going to review the Tarot Illuminati. I read it in a few places that this is not a deck considered for beginners. And that could possibly be it's very, the people in this deck, they look kind of a little bit stern and a bit more confronting. And I think it kind of reminds the seeker constantly through the symbolism and the expression on the faces, more maybe than anything, about your own personal responsibility in all the situations that you're in. And I think this is another good example here. It's the Sun card. The Sun, it's the most positive card in the deck, but as you can see, the face inside the Sun kind of looks very strict. And it has, it kind of is a warning there that, as you go through life, you have to always take responsibility to make good decisions. And the Sun often speaks of children, and then the picture there, the face in the Sun kind of looks like a strict parent. And to produce a good person, you have to be kind of a little bit strict sometimes. And I think that, being kind, kindness is kind of like, what does that even mean? Are you kind if you're just nice all the time? Or is kindness sometimes being strict, saying the truth, speaking the truth, even if the truth will hurt? This deck kind of reminds the seeker and all the time about, to take personal responsibility. I don't see if I see any other example. So here's the Death card. The Death card here, it's like it comes towards you rather than in the Rider-Waite deck. It kind of just bypasses you, as almost like you can choose, almost like if you want to take that journey of change. But in this Illuminati deck, it kind of comes straight towards you, looking straight at you. So it's like something that you have to deal with. So it's a personal responsibility. You can avoid change, but it strongly suggests that you willingly embrace change and transformation, and sort of letting go of the old. So doesn't let you off the hook as easily as other cards. And also I guess here's the Strength card. It's beautifully illustrated. It's very similar to the Rider-Waite symbolism. It uses the people in this Illuminati deck. They look like real people. So here are the kings. I just thought I'd show you, and they're all they show, especially the features. Like when you read with this deck, they will show up to tell you about people in your life that looks like this. That's to tell you who they are. So if you're asking about something and this, it gets maybe you get King of Wands, and it often will then describe something happening around a person that looks like this, so then you'll know who it is. I find that very often with decks that have these very realistic illustrations. They talk about situations in your life and people that look like the people that the cards have illustrated, and that makes it easier in some ways, but then other times it makes it harder, because then you're like, okay, so what is it? Is this about the person, or is it about the personality the card describes? And so if you want to be clear on that, you can always ask the cards beforehand to show you the people by the way they look, so you make it specific. And if it gets very confusing, then you can go back to like Tarot de Marseille, for example, that has very little illustrations. So then you just read the card meanings, basically. This deck is, it shows people from all cultures and races and different ages as well, from very young to old. So it has much more diversity, and that makes it easier in the sense that it will tell you what someone looks like, where they are at in their life. And if you're doing the Soulmate layout, for example, that can be a big benefit then, and you get to see what your Soulmate looks like, and it's the features. The features will be similar. And the energy that you get from the images on the card will be similar to the energy of this, your soulmate if you read for yourself, or the soulmate if you're reading for somebody else. So this is a good deck to use. This is a star. So it's similar imagery to the Rider-Waite deck, but the people look more real. And this lady here has tattoos. So if you were, for example, reading then for somebody and you get this picture, then that could be part of it, what will identify. You could say your soulmate is someone who has a lot of tattoos, for example. So this deck has a lot of details like that. It will give you a clue who someone is. And that is a big benefit to you when you're doing a soulmate layout. Now, there are other ways you can do it as well. If you did my course, you'd learn how to get how someone looks like in the tarot card. Actually, you can go on the website and get that as well, tarotwikipedia.com. So then you get more like specific answers. When you're reading with the Tarot Illuminati, there's a lot going on in the cards. There's a lot of symbolism, and it can be a good idea to sometimes have a second deck. And I do that sometimes in one card position where I get a lot of information. I'm like, where is this information flowing specifically? You can use a second deck to lay out a whole Celtic cross just describing one card position. And that's a good way to learn. And you can operate that way with combining reading with the Illuminati and having a second deck, the Rider-Waite deck, for example, just laying out to get information about certain card positions. So I recommend this deck. It's a beautiful deck, full of color and full of light, and it is very diverse. So you'll see what someone looks like and situations in your life that's similar to what you're going through. But it has a theme. It's a bit serious. It's more serious than, for example, the Rider-Waite deck. I think the pictures are more sort of like the intensity. It's really like it's a pretty intense deck, and you get that sense. I certainly did that. This is a deck that asks you to take a lot of personal responsibility. So it's sort of for the seeker when it's ready to really be on a self-empowering, emotional, mature journey. I hope you like that. See you guys soon. Bye.